What's up, my Sagittarian friends? This is your monthly forecast for the month of September 2016. Thank you so much for joining me. Very briefly before we get started, just wanted to remind you guys that this is a very general reading for those born under the sun, the moon, or the rising or ascendant sign in the sign of Sagittarius. But don't forget that you have a whole entire chart to check out when it comes to your astrological profile, when it comes to your unique blueprint that you were given the day that you were born. So I have a link below in the description box to where you can go and obtain a free birth chart and check it out. If you know what time you were born, you can find out what your rising or ascendant sign is. And if you don't, even if you don't, you can find out all the positions of the other planets. The moon sign is really important. So when it comes to listening to horoscopes monthly, you can watch the ones for your sun sign in Sag if you were born in November or December, but also your moon sign to see the feeling that you're going to have that month, and your rising sign to see the divine timing of events for you as far as astrology. So check it out. And also, if you would like to schedule a reading, a personal reading with me so I can look at your unique chart, I would love to do so. There's also a link below to where you can go to place an order for a reading with myself. All right, now on to your general monthly forecast. All right, my Sagittarian friends, you know what? This month is very important for you guys. You still have some energy that is concentrated in the career area, and then we move on to networking and hanging out with friends, which I know you guys really love. And there's going to be some very important lunar events this month, 2 eclipses that are going to affect you directly as far as home and family life and career. So let's talk about it, Sagittarius. Let me go into detail. So first of all, I hope you guys like my shirt. It might be hard to read, but it says, "Let your imagination run wild." And it has 2 arrows on it, and that really symbolizes Sagittarian energy. I also have a necklace that has an arrow on it. It's a little hard to see from far away, but it looks just like this, but it's a little blingy because I am looking forward to Jupiter moving into Libra. It's going to be significant for me, and Jupiter is your ruling planet, and it brings good faith and optimism and good luck and all those Sagittarian things. So I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, how is the month of September going to treat my Saggy friends? First of all, the sun still continues to be in the sign of Virgo, which is your 10th house of career, shining a light there. Now, you can be advancing in career. You can be seen more by authority figures and bosses during this time. But also, if you don't have a career already in place, this is a time to really go after those big career goals. Maybe you're in a job that's kind of mundane and you feel like you're worth so much more. This is the time to go after, a better job, a better career. This is also a time where, say, for example, you want to be seen out in the world a little bit more. You want to get public attention, public recognition. Maybe that's online, or, you're a social media guru. Maybe you're a blogger or a YouTube personality. This is a time, if you're a Sagittarius, to gain more followers, gain more subscribers if you really put in the work to put yourself out there. You guys have had Saturn in your sign. Saturn, the planet of hard work and discipline and achievement, has been in your sign since a year ago, since last year, September 2015, calling you to work very, very hard. This is in any area of life, but focusing on the 10th house and career. With the help of Saturn, if you really tap into that hardworking energy, Saturn rewards hard work. So if you want to be seen, you want to be recognized, you want to be known, you want advancement, use that Saturnian energy that's being given to you guys right now directly, since Saturn is in Sagittarius, to work hard to achieve the status that you wish to achieve. Mercury continues to be in the sign of Virgo in your 10th house the whole month of September as well. This whole month, Mercury is going to be retrograde though. I know, boo, right? Well, Mercury is going to be retrograde until the 22nd. And then it's going to start moving direct, okay? But it's not going to be fully direct until first or second week of October. It's going to be in its shadow period for a couple weeks after the 22nd. So the shadow period is still a little bit of a shaky time as far as communication and the things that Mercury rules. So I count that as it's still being in retrograde the whole entire month. What that means for you guys is when it comes to career, you can have opportunities come back to you from the past that maybe you went after and you didn't get. Well, it's all about redoing, restructuring, revisiting. So if you revisit that opportunity, it can be an advantage for you. You know, it's not always a good idea to start something brand new during Mercury retrograde, but redoing and taking advantage of it again if it comes back to you is something that is positive for you. I would be careful of, you know, if you're trying to strive for a new career, sending out your resume and things like that, I would make sure to proofread it like 3 times, okay, if possible, before sending it out. Proofread your emails, your cover letters, all of those things that you use to apply for new career positions. Double check them all, because you don't want a bunch of typos and errors and stuff to prevent you from getting your goals met with career. There's also going to be a solar eclipse, a new moon, in this same house, 10th house of career, which I will speak more in detail about at the end of this reading, but this is just adding to the career focus for you guys this month. So there's also going to be a lot of Libra energy this month. The energy is going to start shifting into that area. For you guys, this is your 11th house. The 11th house is the part of your life that is friends and groups and your tribe, finding your tribe of like-minded people. And yeah, that can be friends, or it can be like groups that you join that aren't like close friendships. They're more like acquaintances, and you guys have common interests, or you guys have a common goal that you're trying to meet together. So Venus is going to be in Libra up until the 23rd. And wherever Venus travels, it shows you how you're enjoying yourself on the physical level, okay? Whether it's like taste, touch, sight, smell, hearing, all the 5 senses are ruled by Venus. So if it's in the 11th house, you're really having a great time enjoying more time with friends and more time in groups, maybe gathering groups together to hang out more instead of just individual little times to hang out. This could be a time when you can join a cause that you have in common with other people. That my Sagittarians, you guys are made of fire. You're a fire sign, fire energy. So you can really like point your Sagittarian arrow at things and, you know, just go after them even if the goals seem so far away. So this is the time where you can really go after those goals, and you might get some favorable results. But yeah, joining a group to where you guys are, you know, involved in a common cause that you that's really close to heart. And you can be like a fighter and an activist, you know, for a cause with groups of people. That's a possibility. Since Venus rules relationships and love and romance, you can find it in a friendship. A friend can become a little more than a friend, like a homie lover friend. Hey, you know, that can happen for you guys this month. Or maybe you're hanging out in groups of friends so much that you end up meeting someone when you're out, or maybe friends introduce you to somebody that's like a common acquaintance amongst your groups, you know. That can happen for you guys with love this month. On the 18th, Venus will make an opposition to Uranus. Now, Uranus is a planet that rules like electricity and eccentricity and things suddenly happening in a flash that are unexpected. So it's opposite Venus, and it's sending a zap of electricity to Venus, okay? So it can bring something sudden and unexpected when it comes to love. And you can find love and romance, a sudden affair of some sorts, or like whirlwind romance within a group or within a friendship. So I would watch out for that around the 18th. Some crazy, you know, things can happen when it comes to love. On the 9th of September, Jupiter, the planet that rules you, expansion, abundance, happiness, and luck, and higher-minded beliefs, moves into the sign of Libra. This is your 11th house of groups. So you could become super popular amongst the masses if you are involved in social media, blogging, YouTube, any social media outlets. This is going to be your year, Sagittarius, to really gain a following or more of a following, become more popular, become known as someone who can teach other people things. You know, whatever you put out there, like that you're trying to share with other people, they can learn it from you. They may look at you like you're some guru figure, you know, like a teacher of some sort. So Jupiter will be in Libra from this year until next fall of 2017. Really take advantage of that energy. The sun moves into Libra on the 22nd in your 11th house, really enhancing that energy, really being seen and known even more amongst the masses. And the sun will come in conjunction with Jupiter, your ruling planet, on the 26th of the month. So this is such a favorable energy, especially for my Sagittarians. You guys may get a boost in energy. a boost in enlightenment and just feeling really good about life. Try not to overdo it, because that's one thing about Jupiter and Sagittarius. You guys like to do it big. You guys see the big picture and you see all things as being possible. You don't let anything get in your way of what you want to do. Even if it's like huge and people see it as like, oh, unattainable. No, you see it as, this is mine, the world is mine. But on the negative side, you can tend to overdo it, overindulge, or be overly optimistic to where you end up fizzling out and being disappointed because you went too far with things, you know. So try to be careful of that, especially around the 26th. But yes, enjoy this really great boost of positive energy. Venus moves into the sign of Scorpio on the 23rd. For you guys, this is your 12th house of relaxation, rest, retreating away from the world, going into your own little world and your own space and your own mind, being in your head a lot, and just keeping things kind of private and quiet. Venus ruling relationships and enjoyment. First of all, with relationships, this could be a total keep it on the down low. I know I'm quoting R. Kelly all over this horoscope, aren't I? Yeah, you went from homie, lover, friend to keeping it on the down low. That's a possibility for you. Just being very private about your relationship. If you're in one, if you started one, maybe you met a friend, or you know, you all of a sudden got this relationship that was like this love whirlwind thing that happened, but you want to keep it a little private. You don't want to put it out there on social media just yet. Well, that's Venus in the 12th house for you. If you're already in an established relationship, this can be a time where you want to go into your own little world with that partner. You want to block out and blur out reality and the whole rest of the world. This could be a time also, if you're not in a relationship, or if you are but you're being naughty, where you can start really fantasizing about someone who's unattainable. Okay, somebody who is you know, far from your reach. They can either be in another country, on the internet, maybe somebody famous that you start daydreaming and fantasizing about, or it can be, yeah, somebody that you know that is already taken. For example, I've seen a lot of people who go through 12th house transits. They start lusting after married people or someone already in a relationship, and they dream about them, and they're like, I really want this person, and it's all like this stuff going on in their head that's pretty crazy. I don't endorse that myself, to each their own, but a time of fantasy and dreaming and escaping reality when it comes to love. When it comes to enjoyment, you may enjoy more of the arts, more creativity, more time around water, because the 12th house rules like the oceans and things like that, and escapism. Escape to a place that is near water, and oh, you enjoy it so much, Sagittarius. Or just stay at home and take some long, lovely, luscious baths with all these bubbles and candles. Ooh, that is perfect for Venus in the 12th house. So Mars is in your sign almost the whole entire month. Mars is there until the 27th, okay? Mars has been giving you guys a great boost of energy. Maybe some of my Saggies started going back to the gym, working out, getting involved in sports, just really, really like active, you know, and really charged, like really, really aggressive you can be as well. And a lot of my Sagittarians, I've noticed, when Mars has been in your sign, you guys have kind of gotten into some conflicts with people. A lot of people, like if you know, are aggressive and fiery, which you usually are by nature, people can start firing back at you, you know, with Mars in your sign, causing conflict. Or even if you're a peaceful, peace-loving, hippie, smiley Sagittarius, not really putting any aggressive energy out there, you can kind of attract it to you because you're wearing Mars, you're wearing the god of war, you're wearing his armor, and people see that and they're just like, oh, so you think you're like badass, don't you, Sagittarius? Well, I'll show you. That could have been happening to you since the beginning of the year, off and on. But I have news for you. Mars moves out of your sign on the 27th and into Capricorn. Hallelujah for you guys that have had it rough with Mars in your sign. But Mars in Capricorn, in your second house, it's earning money, going after that money, really like gathering in more resources, more material things, material possessions. One thing I will warn you of though, Mars is a very impulsive, fiery energy, okay? He will burn through things so quickly. And with this being in an area of life that rules money for you, he will try to make you go impulse shopping like crazy and burn through all of your money rather than gathering it and saving it and working hard for it. Mars can do the opposite, okay? So you guys need to be really mindful of that. And we will talk about this a little bit more in October because he will be burning through this area of life during that month as well. All right, so let's get to the moons, the lunar events. Every month there's a new moon and a full moon, but this month is something very special and significant because we have two eclipses, and the effects of eclipses last up to 6 months compared to regular lunar events, which last like from 1 month to the next. So let's get into this new moon. It happens in the sign of Virgo on the 1st of September. So right off the bat in September, we start out with an eclipse, a solar eclipse. The sun and moon together, working together in the same sign, birthing something brand new. And for you guys, this has to do with career, a brand new beginning within career. Now, it can bring something brand new to you on the day of the eclipse. That is possible. But remember, 6-month window here, okay? So initiate something, set the ground for something, plant some seeds right now. If you would love for your career and your position of authority and your position in the world, how people see you, if you want that to grow and expand, now is the time. Manifest using this eclipse energy on the 1st. Now, this is in opposition to Neptune. Neptune brings dissolvement, it brings losses on a negative side, and it brings being out of touch with reality. And this is happening for you in your 4th house of home and family. Now, it can be that some of my Sagittarians, you have family members that are being very codependent right now, that are lost on drugs or just lost out there in the world, and they are always coming to you and other family for help. And it can be that they try to, disturb what you're trying to do as far as career and your place in the world and high achievement and success. So there is going to be a conflict there, okay, with Neptune opposing this new moon. But you do have power being given to you as well by the North Node, which is a point that when a planet comes close to it, it accelerates that energy upwards, okay? So for you, this is with career. So really utilize this energy in the most positive way and really use it towards advancement in this world. So the lunar eclipse, the full moon, is in Pisces, 24 degrees Pisces, in your 4th house of home and family. This happens on the 16th of September. Now, this full moon is when the sun and moon are in opposite signs. So the sun is up there in your 10th house of career, and then the moon is down here in your house of home and family. It's like a push and pull opposition energy of wanting to make some great changes within your family, having a great focus on your family life. But then again, you want to excel in career. So maybe your family is having so many emotional things going on. Maybe people are being extra needy, like I said, codependent, needing your help, wanting to move in with you, wanting to borrow money, like, oh, I'm strung out on... All right, Sag, Mercury retrograde struck and my footage got stopped and deleted. So anyway, continuing on with your full moon eclipse in Pisces, you may have some family members strung out on drugs, being super codependent, and it's kind of hindering your focus with career and advancement in the world. So this is just something that may bring things to a head or to a close, to a breaking point, to where you finally let go and say, no more. I'm not supporting you no more. I'm not being an enabler anymore. I'm going to have to let go of, being pretty much, an enabler, and letting you walk all over me, letting you get away with not taking care of yourself to certain family members or people that are just latching onto you and draining you of your energy, your love, your resources, or what have you. So there may be a breaking point with this full moon, but also it can bring a new beginning in regards to family that is positive. For example, some of my Sagittarians may decide to finally have children and start a family because Saturn is in your sign. He's calling you to grow up now. No more being Peter Pan, running around free in the world with no children. Some of you may end up just wanting to plan a family. I've already seen this with some of my Sag moon friends. So this is a possibility for you guys as well for the full moon eclipse in Pisces on the 16th. All right, Sagittarius, these are your cards I pulled for you this month. The first one for the solar eclipse new moon in Virgo on the 1st of September, which has already passed, my bad, is the Knight of Earth. It says loyal, dedicated, honorable, kind. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments, a guardian angel. Wow, Sagittarius. See, Of all the signs, you're going to be one of the luckiest with this eclipse when it comes to career, because this is happening in your 10th house of career, this eclipse. So it's bringing a new beginning for a lot of my Sagittarius, new job, new position of authority. And this card is just a visual validation of that, because I do shuffle them and they are random. And so they're just, like I said, visual tools, if you will, of validation of the astrology. So the Knight of Earth, Knights are usually young men, in their late teens, maybe early 20s, up to about 30-ish, I believe. And this is a man who he has a very proud look on his face, a very, very happy look on his face. He's riding a horse, but the horse is standing still, okay? Usually when horses are in action or unicorns are in action on these angel cards, that means like there's a lot of action happening, like things are moving. But this is stability because it's standing still, okay? So this is the time, Sagittarius, because Virgo season is finishing up this month. This is the time for you to achieve, okay? And then Jupiter finished its run through Virgo on the 9th. So this was definitely the month for you to achieve what you need to achieve in this world, for your social status, for your career. And there's a lot of lush green around this card, and green is the color of money too. Hey, and you know what? Earth cards symbolize material world stability and material world wealth, and just they're similar to the coins cards. Coins or pentacles cards and other tarot decks, which represent money. Okay, so this is definitely telling you that if you stay committed, if you stand your ground, and then Saturn is in your sign. Saturn is that planet of stability and standing, doing things step by step, climbing up those stairs one stair at a time, not skipping them, not trying to take an elevator, like a flashy elevator while you're wearing sunglasses, like I am the superstar and I am just going to be discovered because I'm me. It's not that energy. It's no, I work hard, okay? I'm completing college. I am completing training at work. I'm completing, putting up my resume to get a new career. I'm completing a promotion, working for a promotion. That's what this is symbolizing, okay? So new, fresh accomplishments within career. As long as you use Saturn's energy towards working hard step by step and not being defiant of his energy, because Sagittarius, check it. I know your energy is very fiery. It's very Peter Pan-like in a way. You guys don't really always want to grow up. Saturn has been calling you to grow up since a year ago, since September 2015, okay? Calling you guys to grow up. Stay in one spot, okay? Not whizzing around all over the world. I'm free, no. A lot of you guys can't do that much of that anymore. You have to stay in one spot. Stay loyal. Stay buckled down, like it says. And as long as you honor that, as long as you are following what Saturn is telling you to do, then you will be able to utilize the energy of this new moon to accomplish some really, really great things within career and your standing, your position of authority, or just in general in this world. So for the full moon eclipse, the card that came up for you guys is the 9 of Water. And this is a really happy card. Even though this full moon, it's in Pisces, it's in conjunction with Chiron. I already mentioned that earlier in the horoscope. And it's an emotional sign, and this is in an emotional house for you. This is your 4th house of home and family. It's very similar energy to the moon and to Cancer, so it's highly emotional. It says your wish comes true, concerns fade away, a love of life. The 4th house where this eclipse is happening for you also has to do with your roots and your internal happiness. So it can be that this brings about some healing so that you can be a happy soul again. I mean, look at these cups are filled with like jewels and gold and all these lovely things. And this mermaid, her head is above the surface. Now, usually when they are below the surface, to me, I feel like it's more emotional, like deeply emotional. When their head is above the surface, look at it. Look at her golden hair. Look at her big smile. Come on, a lot of you Sagittarius have huge smiles. And like, I think this is you right here smiling because you have been below the surface, okay? You've been down here in the water. You've been going through all this emotional stuff, maybe with family, because Neptune is in your house of family right now. And what that means is a lot of my Sages have maybe throughout the last several years had family members that are needy and codependent and on drugs, and they're really trying to drag you down, you know, but you're up there like trying to make your place in the world, make your mark in the world, you know, and they're kind of making it difficult. So maybe this is an end to a situation like that with family, or, you know, overly codependent people, excuse me, or maybe you yourself finally stopping the codependency and being able to find your treasure in the world because you are working very hard to achieve all of that. Okay, so this is the full moon card, what that represents for you. And then overall for the month of September for Sag, the message that came up was the King of Water. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, cultured. And the message says, open your heart and mind to those around you, trustworthy and heartfelt advice, charity work. So we have some energy in the sign of Libra for you guys this month, your 11th house of friends. Okay, then we've got Venus going into Scorpio, your 12th house of compassion. So I would say more towards like the middle and end of the month, or you know, pretty much throughout the whole Venus transit this whole month can represent this. Joining groups and organizations to be compassionate, to help others, to help the less fortunate. You may be called to be like a savior amongst your friends, which I would watch out for people taking advantage of. But this is saying, you know, especially with that eclipse in Pisces, that is really a heart opening eclipse, whether good or bad, whether it's going to make you have an open heart to be more emo and cry, or just to be overall more of a softie, you know, right now. And don't forget eclipses last 6 months, but just focusing on September, I think your heart is going to be open a lot more. You know, you are going to be stern and firm with your accomplishments and your career and everything, but this is saying to still maintain a balance of still being a nice person, Sag, not being too much of a drill sergeant while Mars is in your sign the majority of the month either. Okay, so I feel like this is saying utilize the energy of the Venus transits through Libra in your 11th, through Scorpio in your 12th, to be more of a compassionate person, give back, join some charitable organizations, or just amongst the groups of people you know. Don't be stingy. Don't be afraid to help them out, and be a kind-hearted person. So that was your cards for September, Sagittarius. All right, Sag. I hope you guys enjoyed your reading for this month of September 2016. And I really hope it was helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like your monthly horoscope every single month from me. And don't forget to check out my website where you can schedule a personalized reading that's specific to you. All right. Well, take care, guys. I'll see you guys in October. Peace.